Viewers and subscribers, welcome back to Wizards of Sports TV. I'm your host, Sports with Greg. On the eve of this World Cup kickoff,
What a strike!
by the time this video drop, it might already be, just a few hours before the World Cup, before the first game. But yes, shooting on the eve of the World Cup kickoff once again at the South Florida World Cup ball. Yeah, and an exciting game to kick off the competition. Mexico v South Africa. The South Africans, I did not say much about them in my previous video, but a team to look forward to. What I like with them is most of their players play the South African League, and for anyone that watches that league or watches any of the games or teams in that league, they know that most of the big teams, like, they play a particular kind of football. Orlando Pirates, Sundowns, teams like those. They play a particular brand of football, and most of the national players are from those top, I would say, 3 or 4 teams. But yeah, I'm actually doing this video to highlight young players that I think could use this World Cup as their coming out party. So over the years, whenever there's a World Cup, you will find sometimes a handful of players, sometimes more than that, who uses the World Cup as the stage to announce themselves to the world. I mean, what bigger stage to announce yourself to the world of football? And this year is no different. There are quite a few players, hidden gems in some teams, some of them fairly young, some mid-20s, that the less than average football fan, so someone who probably just watches when it's World Cup time or World Cup qualifiers, not your regular every weekend league watcher like myself and few people that I know, just the average football fan. There are some of these players that some of them might not know about as yet, while there are some that even the average football fan may not know about. So yeah, I have a few names that I just want to run by you, the viewers. If anyone has any other names or know of any names that I might have missed, you can leave their names in the comment section. Feel free to do so. I greatly appreciate it. Also, before I start listing the names, I just want to take this time to thank my viewers over the years that you have been viewing my videos, liking them, sharing them, and to my old and new subscribers. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and you'll be given a notification whenever I do a new video. To my older subscribers, continue to like and share, comment in the comment section. I appreciate the interaction from each and every one of you. Now on to the names, and what better way to start it than with the letter A. I'm not gonna do it in alphabetical order, but just gonna start there. And the first one that comes to mind is Maza from Algeria. He's 20 years old, plays in the German Bundesliga for Bayern Leverkusen. Very talented player, one to look forward to. And with the exciting brand of football that Algeria plays, they should see a lot from him this World Cup. The next player on the list, our next players, is both from Argentina. Nico Paz, for the people that watch the Serie A, they might know him. 21 years old, plays for Como. And there's also another 21 years old, Valentin Barco, plays for Strasbourg in France, a team owned by Chelsea. And rumor has it that he'll be moving to Chelsea next season. So 21 years old midfielder Valentin Barco, plays for Strasbourg. Another one to look forward to. So next on the list, I have from Mexico. They have a 17-year-old midfielder named Gilberto Mora. Plays for Tijuana in the Mexican League. Very exciting young player. Now this is one kid to look forward to. You know, the Mexicans always have they always produce very good young footballers at the youth level. Sometimes they progress to the senior level, other times they don't. But yes, this kid is one to look forward to. And staying with Mexico, I gotta big up this kid because he used to be in the MLS, you know, at Seattle. Obed Vargas. For those of you who watch Atletico Madrid, you would have seen him there. 20 years old, Mexican midfielder. Moving on, South Africa. Like I said before, they kick off the tournament tomorrow. They have two early 20s, a 21 and a 22-year-old. The 21 years old is Mofa King. 21 years old attacker, plays for Orlando Pirates in the South African League. Very, very exciting central midfielder. Well, he plays anywhere across the front three, actually. But yes. Moving on to Paraguay, they're in the U.S. group. They open that group on Friday versus the USA. And they have a player that I've always rated highly. He's now in France playing for Strasbourg, but he's from Brighton. Well, played for Brighton in the Premier League before. And that is Juliano Enciso, 22 years old, Paraguay attacker. One to look forward to seeing as well. The Brazilians. The two players that I'm going to mention, a lot of people, well, football, the everyday football fan will know about them. Hendrick is one. He's 19 years old. You know, hasn't worked out thus far for him at Real Madrid, but he was on loan this season at Lyon in the French league. Now he's a very exciting attacker. You know, one that needs some more coaching, of course, but if he gets going, he could be problems this World Cup. Matter of fact, based on, you know, if he gets game time and perform like he can, he may soon have that Brazil number 9 shirt for himself. So yes, Hendrick and Ryan of Bournemouth, 19 years old winger from Bournemouth in the English Premier League. For those of you who watch the Premier League, you would have seen him. He will definitely be one to watch out for Brazil. The Brazilian team is more experienced players, so, you know, I would assume most of the players on that Brazilian team, a lot of people would have known about them already. So, yeah. Moving on to Morocco, the two young players that I'm impressed with in their team is Bouhaddi from Lille and Talbi from Sunderland. Well, most people should already know Talbi, 21 years old of Sunderland. But Bouhaddi, Ayoub Bouhaddi, 18 years old from Lille. Very good central midfielder, you know. I mean, beyond his years, if you ask me. But yes, he's another one to look forward to. And from Scotland, we have a Manchester United legend, Tyler Fletcher, son of Man U legend Darren Fletcher. He's in the Scottish team. I'm hoping he'll get some game time, you know, because he's a very solid midfielder. I mean, kudos to Michael Carrick for giving him some game time this season. They also have Ben Doak, 20 years old, currently at Bournemouth. Made his debut for Liverpool a couple seasons ago. You know, a lot of people would have seen him there at Liverpool, but didn't get that much time to shine because was hit with injuries this season. This could be his coming out party as well. And finally, no, actually I have a couple more to go over. From the Ivory Coast, there is a young kid from Red Bull Leipzig, Diamande, 19-year-old winger. Probably one of the most exciting footballers off the planet of Africa right now. No, I'm just kidding, but he's one to watch, you know. He's very, very exciting winger. From Ecuador, there is a 19-year-old kid, Kenji Paez. He's currently at River Plate in Argentina. was bought by Chelsea before I think he was 16 at the time. Didn't get a chance to play for them though, but went to Strasbourg, who, if you know about these clubs, they're owned by the same owner as Chelsea. So 19-year-old Kendripa is from Ecuador. He will be one to look forward to as well. And last but not least, I'm gonna go to the Turkish team. Arda Güler and Kenan Yildiz. Now, if you don't know them already, you surely will. Well, I'm assuming people who watch Real Madrid already knows Arda Güler. But Kenan Yildiz of Juventus, I mean, a lot of people probably have heard the name but haven't seen him play. Get ready. He is the real deal. Gotta throw a few Senegalese in there. You know, they look like the African team that's gonna cause some problems. Well, themselves and Morocco. You know, look like they can create some real problems, make it as far as the quarterfinals, maybe even the semifinals, you know. But yes, Senegal have a few youngsters themselves. Mbaye of PSG, 18 years old. For those that watch PSG, would have seen him make a few substitute appearances for them this season. There's also Lamine Camara, 22 years old midfielder from Monaco. Another very solid young midfielder, you know, box to box kind of midfielder from Africa. And Diao, 20 years old attacker from Como. I know some of my friends have watched Como a lot this season because of the way Francis Fabregas coaches, but yes, Diao from Como is the last name on my list. Like I said, a lot more young players that, you know, I expect are not just young players, players that are virtually unknown that I expect to use this World Cup as their coming out party. But these names are definitely ones to look out for. Anyways, until next time, take care. Enjoy the kickoff to the World Cup. Enjoy the first day. Drink responsibly. Do not drink and drive. If you must drink, call a Uber or stay home and drink and watch the game. Alright? Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe and be blessed. Peace.